Okay, let's try this again. Once again.
Well, we seem to be drill impaired. First, it was lack of power in the battery-operated drill. Now I can't seem to get the drill bit to stay tightened inside the chuck. Well, it's a rather cheesy and not necessarily the safest way to drill a hole. And it doesn't appear as though I've cracked the tank, but it's certainly very risky. I'm not sure if I would want to do this again, but the alternative would be to tear all these tanks out and have the manufacturer drill them out.
So as you can see, it can be a little tricky trying to drill out a hole that's already existing.
Keep in mind, the alternative is to tear those tanks out and have someone else drill them out for me.
And that did work for us, but not very smoothly. It doesn't really make me real comfortable in the fact that I've got to drill out 4 more of them.
So with economics being the main motivation, we'll attempt to drill out the next one. Oh! Gosh, that makes me feel uncomfortable doing it that way. But we've dragged our feet long enough on this project and we need to go to this next step. So let's keep moving forward. And once again, our drill bit has come loose inside the drill's chuck. I'm not sure if it's an old drill or a weak wrist trying to tighten the chuck. But in this particular case, sooner or later, we're going to end up cracking the top of the tank, and we can't risk that. So with that in mind, I'm going to consider myself lucky and successful that I was able to modify 3 of the 4 planned tanks, these 3 being down at the bottom. Now all I need to do is get that old drill bit that's stuck in the tank out of the top of the tank.
Okay, no more drilling, that's enough.
Yeah! Now, if I never made it clear as to why we were drilling out those holes, it's because the previous holes, obviously, were too small. In those previous holes, I used a rigid airline tube that I drilled out the holes inside there myself. I'm also the one who put the L bend at one end. Well, the problem, as it turns out, is that L bend didn't really bend without kinking the tube, and it caused a restriction in the water flow passing through it. So I decided, instead of trying to reinvent the bend in the elbow, I would just purchase a molded elbow. We now have a larger diameter spray bar as a result of that elbow, which allows for a more even flow of water through the elbow, as well as a bit of greater pressure behind it. Hence the reason for drilling out the top of the tank to accommodate the larger diameter spray bar.
Hello, my name's Jim Stime. I'm with MyFishTank.com. I'd like to take and show you the advantages of a Clear for Life acrylic aquarium. It's much lighter. One person can lift this 90-gallon aquarium. It's going to take at least 2 people to lift this glass tank. Hey there, my name's Jim Stime. I'm the LA Fish Guy. Have you ever wanted to learn more about marine aquariums? Possibly get together with other excited aquarium hobbyist friends and discuss alternatives and possibilities? Well, every year is the Marine Aquarium Conference of North America, and September 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2011, the Greater Iowa Reef Society is going to be hosting MACNA 2011. They've asked me, the LA Fish Guy, to come and give a presentation, so you know it's gonna be a big one. So here's how to gather more information, and I'll be sure to see you there. We've made up some new spray bars. These have a nice molded elbow, so there's no chance of restriction there. We've drilled the holes about a ½ inch apart from each other. I've only got enough of them to work on 2 tanks, and I think the most important ones are this first one here, which is working fine, but its flow doesn't seem that strong, and this far one here, which did lose a few, but still retains a number of them. This one in the middle I'll have to wait for parts for, and there's really nothing in there. The one tank at the top is working just fine, and as I've always said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So for now, I'm not going to deal with that one. So here's the hole on the first tank. Right up here is the little manifold. What I need to do is go in there and take out the little adapter, the barbed adapter that's in the valved manifold, and then pre-measure a piece of tubing so that I can minimize the amount of time that I'm down. This here is the third tank, and this one here connects up in there, so let's see if I can kind of do this quickly.
And if I didn't make it very clear, this last week we had a significant strobilation event. That's a situation where the polyps segment and they bud off the free-swimming ephyra. We've collected well over 500, maybe 600 ephyra, transferred them over into the little ephyra tanks. It's those spray bars that we're currently replacing that are the mechanism that keeps the rotation of water moving within those ephyra tanks. Since we've now got livestock or potential income at jeopardy, we have to make sure this happens promptly and quickly. Make sure to come on back for part 5 and see just how successful we are in changing those spray bars.